So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So I hope you all are aware that we are doing this series every Sunday at 8 p.m. where we are discussing static GK. So if I'm audible and visible, please write yes in the comments. So in the last class, I think we did this, है ना? पिछले class में last Sunday को we did this. That which of the following has been defined as heart and soul of the Indian Constitution by Bhimrao Ambedkar? So the answer was Article 32. ठीक है? And we had discussed that here from here the power of writ petition of the Supreme Court comes, है ना? And these are the 5 writs which is mentioned, and habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari. Okay. Can inventor me? I'm sure by this time you must have studied legal section. That's why I'm asking. What is the meaning of habeas corpus, or what is the idea behind this? Can anyone tell me? Because I hope by this time. New definition of industry. I hope it will be discussed in the legal section. But चलो मैं लिख लेता हूँ notes में अगर मौका मिलेगा तो. Habeas corpus. Anyone knows? What is the meaning of habeas corpus? And there is a very famous case, habeas corpus case. Yes, good morning, Aradhya, CLAT aspirant. Good evening, sorry, everyone. To have a body of to produce someone in front of a court. Yes. If the person is missing, if the person has been arrested by the police and the police is not producing in front of the court, or the the person is missing, or something like that. So basically, there is a very famous judgment of the Supreme Court in this regard. Okay, one thing I wanted to ask. Yes, ADM Jabalpur, very good, fantastic. ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla case, which was actually heavily criticized later on. When is the video on monsoon session? अच्छा मैं देखता हूँ. I am writing it because we have limited time, but still I am making notes of whatever you are suggesting. ठीक है. So ADM Jabalpur versus Shivkant Shukla case said that what did it say? It is also called as habeas corpus case. क्या था वो? If I am not wrong, ये 1976 का था ना? Yes, Justice H.R. Khanna was the only judge who dissented, whereas the other 4 judges passed an order in favor of the government. And what was that? So basically, 4:1 the judgment said, 4 judges said that during national emergency, habeas corpus can be suspended. Okay. Yes. So one judge said that no, it should be there even. And Justice H.R. Khanna, it dissented. Because habeas corpus can be suspended means police can arrest anyone. And there is no need to produce it in front of a court. So, of course, even during emergency, this provision should be alive. So, that's why a lot of criticism happened of the Supreme Court after this judgment and all. So, you know it, habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and certiorari. Okay, anyone knows this term? Anyone knows what is locus standi? Because I'm asking in context of habeas corpus. First, you tell me. Anyone knows what is this? किसी को पता है ये क्या होता है? Anyone? To have full authority to file petition. Place where the person has to stand before a magistrate. नहीं. Place where the person has to stand. Yes. Locus standi means it is a principle which says that you can file petition in the court only when you are affected by that incident or that thing. For example, let's say this is a land of Mr. A and this is a land of Mr. B. I'm explaining because there is a reason behind this. Okay. Now, and you are living here. This is you. Your house is here. Okay. Now what happens is A actually captures some of the land of B. Let's say you got to know that in your colony there's a person called A who has captured some of the land of B. Now you decided to hire a lawyer and file a case in the court that, look, court, B's land was snatched by A. And A and B is not your relative, nothing to do with your, they are actually just living in your colony. So the court will say, what is your locus standi? Means, are you affected by this? Your land has been snatched. This is what actually the court. So the court will say you do not have any locus standi because you are not the person who has been affected directly by this. Yes. Okay. So if there is any issue, either B will file a petition or near relative of the B. For example, B's father or mother will file a petition. And that also makes some sense. But if you are not even related with B, if B has no problem, why are you coming? This concept of locus standi is actually what we call it as compromised in case of PIL. You know PIL? In case of PIL, the locus standi is not very rigidly followed. Do you know this? Because recently it was asked in a UPSC CAPF exam that in case of PIL, the locus standi is not followed, implemented rigidly. PFBR, Shanti Act पे तो नहीं बना. I don't know what is PFBR. What you are asking? Shanti Act, but I have not made the video. Okay, I'll take the screenshot of this. Do you know what is PIL? I hope. So the concept of locus standi is not very rigidly followed in case of PIL or public interest litigation. Yes, Justice P.N. Bhagwati, father of PIL, right? Huh? Now I have one more question. It means, PIL means, for example, let's say you are living in a colony. It's a big colony. You are living here. There are multiple houses. And let's say this is the road. Okay. Fast breeder reactor we have discussed in paid classes. Okay. Now you are living here. But imagine in a locality here actually a big, huge portion of what we call it as garbage is being thrown here. Huge, and it smells a lot. But your house is slightly away. You decide, you are a lawyer, you decide to file a PIL in the court by saying this is of public interest. There is a massive amount of garbage, it is causing a lot of smell. You file a petition that please get this removed. It is there for the past 1 month or something like that. Now the court can say you are not affected. The court will say, okay, here is the house, here is the, if these three will file a petition or the house who are getting affected, then only we will accept the case. Generally it can happen. But in case of PIL, if the court believes that yes, it is a public interest litigation, it is for the larger interest of the public, then the court can actually compromise the rule of locus standi. Is it clear? Yes or no? Yes, Ruhi Verma, right. Is the concept clear? And what is the name of the judgment? Very famous, from where the concept of PIL became famous. है ना? You check it. Hossain Ara Khatun versus Home Secretary, State of Bihar. ये 1979 वगैरह केस है. Home Secretary, State of Bihar. ठीक है. Okay. That's what you should be knowing. Now, since I was talking about locus standi, now please tell me, in case of habeas corpus, is there a very strict locus standi stance, or is there any scope of little bit compromising it? Hossain Ara Khatun case is very famous. In case of habeas corpus, will the court strictly implement locus standi in general, or the court should give some space, or should give some what we call it as can compromise to some extent locus standi? Yes, there is scope of compromise. Why? Because locus standi, because for example, let's say a person has been arrested. or taken up by the police and the person is inside the jail, that person cannot do anything. That person is very helpless because that person cannot even approach the lawyer. He's been arrested and he's not being produced by the police. So how can you expect the person who has been arrested to actually hire a lawyer? How you can file any not PIL, any petition? So you can expect from the near relative, near relative means father, mother, like close brother, etc. But in some case, it can also happen that the near relative is not present. So maybe some of his friend will be present. So in such sort of case, or some of the near in the sense कि person living in the same colony, ऐसा हो सकता है the person is there living in the colony and the person does not have so close relatives. Many of his close relatives would have died, let's say, in some disaster. ऐसा हो सकता है. And actually he is only having a distant friend or a friend in the same colony. He has been arrested. So in that case, his friend can file a PLA petition, na? That look, my friend, there's a friend in my colony who was arrested by the police and is not being produced in front of the court. So in that case, yes, to some extent, yes, the locus standi can be compromised. ठीक है? Clear है? समझ में आया? Concept of locus standi, I hope it's clear, है ना? I was discussing these things because, of course, you should know these things in the future. Next is local self-government can be best explained as an exercise in what? देखो ये सब चीज बहुत अच्छा होता है. डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन, दिस इज एक्चुअली वेरी मच द आइडिया ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी. डेमोक्रेटिक डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन वुड बी द बेस्ट आंसर. ठीक है, बी इज द राइट आंसर. डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन का मतलब क्या होता है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन? द पावर शुड फ्लो फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम, सेंटर टू स्टेट, फ्रॉम स्टेट टू लोकल सेल्फ गवर्नमेंट. नाउ व्हाट इज द आइडिया बिहाइंड दिस? बेसिकली यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, है ना, 73rd constitutional amendment है ना, brought at the panchayat level and 74th at the cities level. हाँ, the idea is there is a principle called as principle of subsidiarity कहते हैं ना, principle of subsidiarity. Let me check the spelling. I think this is the spelling. You know what is this? Anyone? Yes, it says when you search that actually, if a thing can be done at local level, it should not be done at the state level. If a thing can be done at the local level, it should be done at the local village level. If not, then it should go above to block level, not then to subdivisional level, then to district level, then to state level, then to union level. Means as small as possible unit में हो, it should be implementable. That's the idea behind this. है ना? So the idea is the power should flow down. This is called as decentralization. And the word decentralization is considered as very healthy for the democracy, generally. So whenever you find such type of words, Anna, you have to connect it like that. That these are very healthy for democracy. Okay? And you know, we had the concept of LSG even before. Who was considered as father of LSG, by the way? Father of LSG किसको कहते हैं? Lord Ripon, yes. So even during the British time, we had something. And actually, even after independence, we had something. But actually, by 74th and 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment 1992, it was made more strong, more stringent. So 73rd Amendment established Panchayati Raj system and added Part 9 and Schedule 11, which talked about. So basically, we have two LSGs. Local self-government means third-tier government. Both at actually, it can be done at rural level and urban level. So rural level per we have PRI, Panchayati Raj institution, and urban level we have urban local bodies. Okay. So Panchayati Raj institution, this is PRI, है ना, I'm sure you must have heard the terms like panchayats, mukhya, है ना? Gram sabha, sarpanch. You must have heard these terms. That all are related with this. Head of sarpanch, etc. 74th Amendment talked about ULB, urban local bodies. Like you must have heard the term municipality, municipal corporation, and like Municipal Corporation of Delhi, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. So here you must have heard the terms like you must have heard the terms like mayor, municipal commissioner, who is generally a bureaucrat. You must have heard the term like ward councillor, ward commissioner. सुना है नाम ये सब? Have you heard these terms? Yes, Part 9A was added. Part 9, capital A was added in that 12th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Next is a constitutional government by definition is constitutional government by definition is what? This is very important. This is actually a conceptual question. And if you are rote learning this type of question, then I would say it will be injustice to this question. Concept पता होना जरूरी, रटना नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन को. मैं हमेशा ही बताता हूँ, concept हमेशा याद रहेगा. So even if this question will be asked 10-20 years later, you will answer it if you have understood the concept. Otherwise, if you have rote learned it, there is no guarantee that you can answer it even after 1 month. Constitutional government, ये सब टर्म लिखा था. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गवर्नमेंट, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनलिज्म. प्लीज थिंक एन आंसर. आई हैव सीन ओनली वन आंसर. भाई व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? बाकी लोग कहाँ हैं भाई? व्हाट इज दैट? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल गवर्नमेंट का क्या मतलब है? आई एम वेटिंग फॉर द रिस्पॉन्स. प्लीज आंसर, थिंक एन आंसर. अच्छा, एक चीज मैं पूछता हूं. वेरी गुड, क्लैट एस्पिरेंट. यस. हाँ, सो बेसिकली आपको फर्स्ट चीज समझना है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल, ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, इफ देयर इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रॉपरली इन एनी कंट्री, द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज द सुप्रीम लॉ ऑफ द लैंड. यस. एंड in a democratic country, and nobody is above it. Not even the Chief Justice of India, not even the President, not even the Prime Minister, not anyone. ठीक है? Supreme law of the land, and no person is above it. This is the idea in democratic constitutionalism, democratic values, है ना? The original idea of constitutionalism is in democracy. You cannot expect constitutionalism in a dictatorship or in a kingship. So this constitutionalism or constitutional government we are talking about, with of course this is with respect to the democracy. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? It means in all the, whether it is a legislature, whether it is executive, whether it is judiciary, whether it is chief justice, whether it is Supreme Court, High Court, whether there is Prime Minister, President, Governor, Chief Minister, whatever you can say, whether it is MP, MLA, all have, do they have unlimited power? Should I use this word? The concept of unlimited power is not actually in the democratic setup. The concept of unlimited government is there, or unlimited power would be there with whom? With the dictator. For example, if there is a dictator of any country, military dictator, that person is above the law. He alone will change the law. He alone will say whatever it is, or as a king of any country. So technically also, if you find any dictatorship, they say that we are having a constitution, but that constitution is not a real constitution, है ना? We are having even every dictator country and every kingship country also say that we have constitution, but that is not the original idea of constitution. Yes, only totalitarian states have unlimited power. Yes, very good. So when I'm saying constitutional government, means every organ of the state has limited power. Every organ of the state here means government, है ना? Every organ of the state has limited power. means if you talk about legislature, if you talk about executive, if you talk about judiciary. Now let me actually tell you like this. Just we are having three, generally three pillars: legislature, executive, and judiciary. If the judges, let's say if any judge does something wrong, they can be removed by the legislature, that is by the parliament. Yes. If the parliament passes any law which is unconstitutional, it will be declared invalid by the court. Similarly is the case with president, prime minister. If the president has done something wrong, if the president has violated the constitution, that president can be removed by the impeached by the parliament. Similarly, the prime minister and the council of ministers is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. So we use the concept of checks and balance. And why the checks and balance? To ensure that nobody should have unlimited power. Nobody should have unlimited power. ये बताओ ना, चेक्स एंड बैलेंस क्या मतलब? किसी के पास अनलिमिटेड पावर नहीं होना चाहिए. And that is actually in the constitutional governance setup. Nobody should have unlimited power. And you will be surprised to know, but we should talk about it, that even the citizens also, ऐसा नहीं citizen जो चाहे कर ले. The common citizen should not also start claiming कि I have unlimited power. Even the fundamental rights that are given to the citizens are not absolute in nature. है ना? That is also very important because limited government and limited rights to the citizen. There is a rights, of course, but of course it's not absolute. But generally speaking, because the idea flows from here. Why the word limited government is used? Because government has more power. Na? The government includes everything: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay. So in narrow sense, we believe that executive is the government, but in a broad sense, legislature, executive, and judiciary, all three are actually part of government. Okay. So I hope this concept is clear. Limited का sense. The idea is I make like this. जैसे मैं ऐसे बनाता हूँ. जैसे एक circle है. This is the circle made by the constitution. Means it is a limit made by the constitution. And nobody is supposed to cross this limit. कोई इसको cross नहीं करेगा. Neither the government, neither legislature, nor executive, nor judiciary, nor citizen. Everyone is bounded under this. This is the idea of constitution. Is it clear? I hope the concept of limited government means no absolute power to any one organ of the state. है ना? I hope it is clear. ये आपको याद रहना चाहिए. That is the most important thing you should know. ठीक है. अच्छा, कुछ लोगों ने A बोला था, उसको मैं clarify कर देता हूँ. Okay, those who said A, can you please tell me why you have marked A? I just wanted to know. Then I will explain. वैसे मैं समझ गया हूँ, but still I'm asking. Some people said A. Why you all had said A? Path had said and moderate. Like, you were trying to reach to the answer, but you were thinking something other in the mind. I got it, but still I'm asking you. Basically, this class is not about rote learning. इसलिए कि किताब में ही मिल जाएगा ये सब आंसर. रट लो 1 का A, 2 का D, 3 का 4, 3 का C. But the idea is not that. The idea is understanding. Government by legislature आप क्यों मार्क किया था? क्या सोचे थे? You were thinking in this way that okay, we are having parliament and from there are MPs. From there the government is formed. ये सोचा था क्या? कि ministers जो होते हैं वो MP से आते हैं तो parliament से? Yes, it is true. This is actually called as parliamentary form of government का definition to some extent कह सकते हो. Parliamentary form of government जो होती है उसमें कहते हैं कि the ministers means ऐसे लिख देता हूँ. Ministers, council of ministers, लिख सकते हो, which include prime minister, chief minister, etc. In case of a state chief minister, the council of ministers comes from the legislature, and the council of ministers is collectively responsible to legislature. So here we are, in case of India, we are having Lok Sabha. Council of ministers is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. It is mentioned in Article 75 also. So this definition is related with parliamentary form of government. Is it clear? Is it clear? समझ में आया? यस और नो? प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड, है ना? समझ गए ना? तो ये समझना चाहिए, पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट पूछा जाएगा बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट द केस इन यूएसए. यूएसए इज हैविंग प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. So that's why I wanted to differentiate. US में is also there a constitution, there is a democratic setup, everything. But US में the MPs directly do not choose. There is a separate presidential election that happens, you know. And technically, the president is not collectively responsible to the US Congress. Because of course there is no provision of no confidence motion like that, है ना? Impeachment होता है, that's a different matter. ठीक है? So खैर इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना, but that is more than enough. Panchayati Raj was first introduced in India where? So I've told you that we had Westminster form of government or parliamentary form of government. Nagaur, Rajasthan is the right answer to this question. 1959, Nagaur, Rajasthan. So I've told you that even before the constitutional amendment was done in 1990s, we had the concept of Panchayati Raj system. But we constitutionalized or inserted in the constitution in by 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment. Next is first municipal corporation was set up where? Very interesting question. Everyone please press the like button if you like this class, please press the like button. And if you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to it also. First municipal corporation was set up in, you know, municipal corporation, the part of urban local bodies. So if you are living in city, your city must have municipal corporation. And like we have MCD municipal corporation in Delhi, we have Brihan Mumbai municipal corporation in Mumbai. And similarly, we have right answer is Madras was the first municipal corporation to be set up in India, and second at I think at world level, if I'm not wrong. You check it. One of the earliest at the world level to come up with the concept of municipal corporation. So in India, it was the first. And you check at the world level, I think it is the second. First CLAT aspirant, I'm not sure about that. First state was MP for Panchayat, please check that. Okay. And here, yes, here the answer is Madras. So B is the right answer. ठीक है? ठीक है? सब याद रखिएगा. Minimum age for becoming member of Panchayat. Right answer is 21 years. B is the right answer to this question. ठीक है? ठीक है, मेंबर पंचायत बनने के लिए मिनिमम 25 ईयर्स. अच्छा, इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा और डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं. इफ यू वांट टू बिकम अ लोकसभा एमपी, व्हाट इज द मिनिमम एज रिक्वायर्ड? Yes. So for that case, you need 25 years. And if you want to become Rajya Sabha member of parliament, what is the minimum age you need? $30 years. Yes, very good. And if you want to become a governor of any state in India, what is the minimum age required? To become president 35 years. Governor के लिए क्या है? What is the minimum age to become governor or president? It's 35 years. हाँ, ठीक है. अच्छा, एक चीज आप पूछते हैं. If you want to become a Supreme Court judge, what is the minimum age required according to the Constitution? And if you want to become a High Court judge, what is the minimum age required? In case of a Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge, minimum age required. मैंने पहले भी डिस्कशन किया. Yes, constitutionally there is no such provision. But practically, if you ask me, it is very difficult for a person less than 35 or 40 to become a Supreme Court judge. है ना? बिकॉज ऑफकोर्स देर आर डिफरेंट प्रोविजंस. तो अगर आप एज कैसे भी ऐड करोगे, पहले लॉ करेगा आदमी फिर प्रैक्टिस करेगा, देयर सम, है ना. सो प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग, है ना, it is not possible that a person who is less than 40 or 45 to become a Supreme Court judge, but theoretically no age is written. ठीक है. अच्छा, one more thing, I just wanted your common sense. Here the question is of common sense. हाँ, retirement is there. हाँ, 62 for High Court and 65 for Supreme Court. हाँ. So in case of High Court judge, retirement age is 62 years, and in case of Supreme Court judge, the retirement age is 65 years. ठीक है. Okay, what is the retirement age for a Chief Justice of High Court? Anyone? I wanted the conceptual clarity, है ना. What is the retirement age of a Chief Justice of a High Court? Oh my goodness, no, it is the same 62. And what is the retirement age of a Chief Justice of Supreme Court who is called as Chief Justice of India? Answer is same. Because a Chief Justice is also already the person is a judge. He's just a captain. So Chief Justice is a High Court judge, and Supreme Court Chief Justice is a Supreme Court judge. So the rule follows like that. ठीक है. मैं क्यों बता रहा हूँ? Because now people, the question maker can confuse you. अच्छा, हाई कोर्ट के जज का 62 है, सो चीफ जस्टिस का क्या होगा? तो आप सोचो थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा होगा कुछ, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट, है ना. बिकॉज समटाइम्स यू अप्लाई द लॉजिक, है ना. नाउ आई वांट टू आस्क वन मोर क्वेश्चन विच इज अ कॉमन सेंस क्वेश्चन. What is the minimum age? If I want to become a prime minister, what should be my minimum age at least? Okay, CLAT is no problem. हाँ, ठीक है. If someone wants to become a prime minister, minimum age, yes, because the Lok Sabha MP's minimum age is 25. So from that logic, and if someone wants to become a chief minister, minimum age constitutionally is again 25 years. You need to be either yes, CLAT aspirant, है ना. And from that logic, Lok Sabha is having minimum age of 25 as compared to Rajya Sabha having 30. ठीक है. So you can become prime minister earlier according to the minimum age rule as compared to the president, because you need at least 35. ठीक है. Even in case of vice president also, the governor also 35, है ना. Okay. Next. आइडिया ऑफ वेलफेयर स्टेट बताइए. यस, वेलफेयर, सोशल, समाज का इंप्रूवमेंट, सोशल इकोनॉमिक डेमोक्रेसी, सोशलिज्म, है ना, मिनिमाइजिंग इन कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वेल्थ, इकोनॉमिक इनइक्वालिटी को रिड्यूस करना, है ना, डीपीएसपी ऑफ कोर्स, है ना, सो मेनी थिंग्स. वेलफेयर स्टेट, इस्टेब्लिश डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव जस्टिस, सोशल इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल, सिक्योर अ सोशल ऑर्डर, राइट टू एडुकेट मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड, सिक्योर अ लिविंग वेज, है ना. सो कॉन्सेप्चुअली अगर आप देखोगे, सो द आइडिया ऑफ वेलफेयर स्टेट, है ना, स्टेम्स फ्रॉम देयर, है ना. वेलफेयर स्टेट मतलब है कि भलाई, लाइक द स्टेट शुड थिंक इन दिस वे ऑफ reducing the minimizing the concentration of wealth. So state is not only supposed to only just have a police power. The state, what philosophy of welfare state, I'm not going in that detail, but the idea is the state does not mean that they are collecting the taxes and they are just having police, military, etc. Yes, it is fine, but it is more than that. Means the state should think of welfare of the citizen. है ना, that's the original idea behind this. है ना, welfare of the people. Take a livelihood, equal pay for equal work, है ना. So this will ensure minimizing inequality. यहाँ से minimizing inequality, and many other things. So a lot of things. the entire DPSP is full of welfare state concept. अब देखो ये बहुत ही confusing question है, but still actually the idea is whenever this type of question comes, you have to answer the best possible answer, because ideally all four is correct. You cannot say that कोई एक गलत है इसमें से. And if there is no all of the above option, then you have to answer one. And how will you answer? The answer, best possible answer then reflects the mind of the constitution maker. Yes, preamble. Because mind of constitution maker means the constitution maker would be thinking of the ideals of the constitution. So ideals means main बुनियादी बात क्या होता है, छोटा short में आप बता दो, summary that's mentioned here. Because when we talk about preamble, the ideals of DPSP, fundamental right and fundamental duty, all is mentioned here. Yes, preamble is holistic. इसमें सब आ जाता है, DPSP का ideals, fundamental rights and fundamental duties के ideals, all is mentioned here. ठीक है, you have to understand the concept. जैसे when I say DPSP, for example, social economic justice, यही तो है, सोशल इकोनॉमिक पॉलिटिकल जस्टिस सब डीपीएसपी का पार्ट है. फंडामेंटल राइट्स, लिबर्टी ऑफ थॉट, एक्सप्रेशन, बिलीफ, ये क्या है? फंडामेंटल राइट्स ही तो है. दैट इज फंडामेंटल राइट्स, है ना? राइट टू फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, राइट टू एक्सप्रेशन, राइट टू बिलीफ, फेथ, राइट टू रिलीजन, फ्री रिलीजन. फिर क्या है? फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज. ठीक है, ड्यूटीज भी कहीं ना कहीं पे आ ही जाएगा. प्रमोट फ्रैटर्निटी, फ्रैटर्निटी इज अ ड्यूटी. It is the duty of every citizen to promote brotherhood, fraternity. आपने पढ़ा होगा फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज. हर नागरिक की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि फ्रैटर्निटी एंड ब्रदरहुड इंश्योर करे, एंड यूनिटी एंड इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ द नेशन, एश्योरिंग द डिग्निटी, है ना? दैट्स द आइडिया बिहाइंड दिस. सो एवरीथिंग इज मेंशन्ड हियर. सो द मोस्ट कंप्रिहेंसिव एंड द होलिस्टिक आंसर वुड बी दिस. मैं क्यों बता रहा हूं? इफ दे आर गिविंग ऑल ऑफ द अबव ऑप्शन, देन यू शुड मार्क ऑल ऑफ द अबव. ठीक है? बट एक्चुअली दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन वाज आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम एंड दे गेव दीज फोर ऑप्शंस to think. Means they were expecting you to answer the most suitable. All four are correct, but the most suitable is A, है ना? तो आपका conceptual clarity भी देखी जा रही है. That's the idea behind this. ठीक है, so we are stopping this class here. We will start from here, from the next class onwards. So thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.